Taking on the role of a new character has never been as good as it has been this year, with several incredible RPG experiences giving us reasons to stay up past our bedtimes coming in quite regularly. It's been an incredible year of RPGs, with many enjoyable ones making their way to our gaming systems. Visually resplendent, narratively engaging, while coming with some meaty combat systems and mechanics. The best ones of the lot had us sold quite early on and invested even beyond their credits in some cases. We took on the task of bringing our picks and a winner of ones that really stood out and took over our lives. So without further ado, the nominees for the best RPGs of 2025 are Where Winds Meet. Everstone Studios brought us an incredibly detailed open world and an RPG adventure in which the world came with us on our journey, offering up an unprecedented amount of freedom in how we could approach its many mysteries, secrets, battles, and story. Its build potential, strong combat mechanics, inclusions of player professions, amazing traversal mechanics, and some deliciously slick wuxia animations make this one a very immersive addition to 2025's ranks, and one that comes with a lot of depth and ambition. We're quite interested to see where this one goes over the course of next year. Clair Obscur. Sandfall's breakout hit took the RPG genre by storm with stunning and intriguing mechanics that had us at the edge of our seats right off the bat. With a talented voice cast who really sold their material and a soundtrack that continues to enjoy a lot of love from the gaming world, this is a title that we'd gladly come back to for a fun hour of exploration and combat. But it is the characters who make us stay, every time. Clair Obscur's biggest strength is the expedition that brings an end to the nightmare it presents us with, and its members are at the heart and soul of an RPG that never overstayed its welcome. The Outer Worlds 2. The Outer Worlds 2's attempt to put us in the shoes of an Earth Directorate agent on a mission in Arcadia has been an excellent effort that blends casual takes on megacorporations with a story that was quite riveting. The companions accompanying you on your adventure are quirky and an interesting bunch, while the game's gear system brought very creative touches to the table. We particularly liked the fact that gear made by specific corporations had synergies with other equipment from the same brand, for instance. With a lot to do in Arcadia and a lot of freedom in how you approach it, this was a definitely welcome addition to our libraries this year. The first Berserker, Kazan. Neopol and Nexon's decision to take a fresh look at the early days of the Dungeons & Fighters series paid off very well, and the first Berserker Kazan has been an excellent action-adventure RPG with a great combat system taking the center stage. Kazan's vengeance-fueled adventure is brought to life by an anime-inspired, cel-shaded art style that has stood out, while his brutal efficiency in battle has catapulted this one to the heights of being among this year's finest titles. It's a game that just fires on all cylinders, all throughout its runtime. Elden Ring Nightreign. From Software's successful run continued with its foray into multiplayer roguelikes, and Nightreign's fast-paced trip through Limveld has been a great place to go for some wild action and unpredictable experiences in a multiplayer system that can have you laughing at how badly things went wrong, or stunned at how your fellow Nightfarers take on the most fearsome enemies. With the new The Forsaken Hollows DLC now added into the mix, this one might continue to be among the most played RPGs for a while. Monster Hunter Wilds. The latest addition to the Monster Hunter franchise brought all of its strengths, a few creative flourishes, and barely any of its limitations to the Forbidden Lands. With visually stunning biomes housing some truly imposing monsters for us to hunt, this game was such an entertaining one that we almost felt sad to move on from it as other titles took our attention away. Monster Hunter Wilds is just fun and a delight to play thanks to its great performance and enrapturing gameplay loop. Assassin's Creed Shadows. The Shin Bakufu's infiltration of Japan's government and Naoe and Yasuke's quest to dismantle their control marked a much-needed success for the series while giving Assassin's Creed fans a title that they had been wanting for a long time. As the franchise's first truly current-gen entry, Shadows lived up to the hype thanks to an overhaul of the stealth mechanics and Yasuke's unique brand of chaotic justice as a combat specialist. Japan's many vistas were absolutely gorgeous backdrops for a combat and exploration loop that had us visiting every corner of the map we could get to, and that's quite the compliment to any RPG. Borderlands 4. As the much-awaited next entry to a beloved franchise, Borderlands 4 brought its signature wit and charm to the table while giving us an RPG that nailed the experience. Joining the Vault Hunter's adventure through Kairos was a treat in more ways than one, and the game's combat mechanics were a blast. While its main story could be seen as a matter of personal preference, the dearth of side content and the manner in which the franchise's style is brought to the fore at nearly every turn are reasons to dive into what could be the best Borderlands title yet. Pokémon Legends ZA. Lumiose City has been a great staging ground for some truly great Pokémon battles and quite a hub for ambitious trainers looking to make their mark on its populace. Exploring the city has a lot of perks to it, and you never know just what you might find on the ground or across its rooftops. The combat is nothing to scoff at either, bringing a lot of exciting battles between talented trainers and a lot of juicy rewards to dive into when it was all done. This was an RPG through and through, and one that had us thinking about it when we were busy with the real world. Citizen Sleeper 2 Star Wars Vector. This one's among the year's more innovative RPGs, bringing tension that did wonders for its gameplay loop. Stepping into the shoes and neurons of the rogue sleeper had us forgetting to keep an eye on the clock for several nights that it took us to play through the story. This is a game that has you taking the protagonist's role quite seriously, and is one that might haunt you for quite a while after you face the consequences of a bad decision. And that's a solid RPG if we ever saw one. Digimon Story Time Stranger. Bringing a poignant, excellent story to the table, this addition to the Digimon Story series of titles was nothing short of captivating. We could not wait to find out the fate of our protagonist as we navigated its world and built bonds with other characters and Digimon in our search for the cause of the future catastrophe. Taking us across time and space, this was an adventure that brings a fond smile to our faces when we think of all the great memories its story and gameplay loop gave us, and is an easy recommendation for anyone who hasn't tried it out yet. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. This sequel is a continuation of Henry's adventures that hit all of the right notes for fans of Kingdom Come's franchise formula. This was an RPG that had us immersed in the landscape that it let us loose in, and quite entertained by the quirky populace it housed. There are a lot of laughs to be had in the many conversations that you can find, and many entertaining hours engaging with all of its content that's on offer for you in this title. It's a thoroughly entertaining game, and one that's really quite hard to put down once it picks up the pace in its main narrative. The Elder Scrolls IV Oblivion Remastered. The surprise opportunity to return to a version of Cyrodiil we'd never seen before is certainly among this year's highlights. Returning to a beloved title after all of these years with all of its current-gen bells and whistles thrown in was pure gaming bliss, and Oblivion continues to be among the most solid RPGs you can find out there. This is the definitive way to enjoy a game that is legendary among RPG fans, and also outside of the genre thanks to how awesome it has become over those years. Wu-Chang Fallen Feathers. Bai Wu-Chang's search for her lost sister took us and the character to some truly surreal locations populated by bizarre enemies. The lands of Shu hid a surprising amount of depth to its lore, while the game's combat was already on display as the centerpiece of the experience long before it was released. Wu-Chang is definitely among our favorite silent protagonists, a couple of notable lines excluded, and her adventure is a brutal yet exciting journey through a very interesting take on ancient China. Mandragora Whispers of the Witch Tree. Playing as the Inquisitor on a mission through this title's dark fantasy world brought a lot of fun to our time with it. Its action RPG gameplay loop worked well with its side-scrolling adventure where the story was every bit as entertaining as the battles it led us to. This is definitely among the stronger contenders for the crown of this year's best RPGs, and was definitely one that had us entertained from its opening hours right up until the end of its main story. Trails in the Sky First Chapter. As a reimagining of the first chapter in a great saga, this title is definitely an RPG that you do not want to miss. It brings all the elements of the genre's greatest titles to the table, making them breathe life into a story that's going to be quite entertaining whether you're familiar with the franchise's roots or not. Add in a combat system that works very well and blends real-time and turn-based loops in a way that feels very unique and entertaining. Its story brings a lot of heart and charm to the experience, framing your role and actions in the gorgeous open world quite well, and making you feel like a small yet relevant part of a sprawling kingdom. It's definitely a fine addition to the genre and among the greatest ones this year. While each of these titles have been excellent in its own way, there is one that undoubtedly takes this year's crown thanks to how well its many elements work together to bring an experience like no other to our screens. And our winner of 2025's Best RPG is Clair Obscur.
It felt like they knew me. Like, actually knew me. I don't understand what's happening. And I feel like I never understood. Like, I'm always missing something that everyone else just gets. In Lumiere, life never made sense and I never fit, and now out here, when it was just starting to maybe feel good, then this happens and...
Yeah.
Gustav, Mael, Luna, Ciel, Monaco, and Verso bring incredible powers and an adorable amount of vulnerability to the seemingly impossible task of ending the Paintress's reign of terror over Lumiere. With emotional heft, morbid humor, excellent character development, incredible combat, and brilliant performances across platforms, this is our favorite RPG of the year by a long shot. And that's a wrap on our picks for this year's best RPGs. We can't wait to see what next year's going to bring to the table, and of course, we're going to be ready to dive in when the time comes.
And that'll be about it for this one. If you guys like what we're doing at GamingBolt, please consider subscribing to our channel, and I'll see you guys on the next video.